Hello, guys. So this is my prediction on Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. It's gonna be a great fight, and obviously you can see the size difference between the two. But Chris Eubank is actually the older guy here. He's not old, but he's old in boxing years. He's 35 years old, so technically he is sort of past his athletic best when it comes to power and speed and reflexes. So, Conor Benn may have a chance of knocking Chris Eubank Jr. out if Chris doesn't stay on his toes, on his feet, uses the ring, uses jab, his range, and box from the outside and use that, unorthodox style that's been implemented, you know, by Roy Jones to fight a safe fight and keep it at bay and keep it, distant. Because if Conor Benn, rushes in, uses head movement, and comes up with a Mike Tyson type left hook, Chris Eubank is going to get out of there and he's going to get knocked out clean because number one, the weight cut, the age, and the reflexes. Those are no longer there in Chris Eubank's, weaponry. They're all gone. He's 35 years old. So, his skills may be there, but if the speed, power, and everything else is not going to be there when he's fighting against Conor Benn. You know what I mean? Especially the weight that he's cutting down to. So it's going to be more of a dangerous fight for Chris Eubank than Conor Benn. Conor Benn doesn't have much to worry about. Even though he's fighting against a bigger man, that bigger man is a bit fragile in a sense. You know what I mean? So he's in a higher risk of getting hurt more than Conor Benn because Chris Eubank Jr. is not really a hard puncher anymore because he's past his best. Or if he had a best, to say the least. So this fight is not going the distance. And I believe that Chris Eubank Jr. can win by decision, or he slips up and Conor Benn steals the show by knocking him out. So that is my prediction for this fight. And Chris Eubank Sr. does have an interesting point that Chris Eubank does have a higher chance of getting brain damage because maybe it's the weight cut that's going to increase that chance of getting brain damage. You know what I mean? And plus, Conor Benn is a ferocious puncher, as they say. You know what I mean? But we shall see, and it's going to be an interesting fight.